Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do an open water session, just a simulated open water session, and what files are created and what that entails. So what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to start the open water. I'm going to start the the pairing app, and I'm going to turn this on and connect and put it in repeat mode. Boom. I'm going to keep taking snapshots here, and then you can see the open water app is right there. That's on the carousel. So we're going to open that up. And we're going to start an open water session. You can see it's starting to open. Now, if it's the first time you've ran the open water app, it's going to ask you to turn on your GPS settings. The first two options, you want to make sure they're checked. And after that, you're good to go. You can also go into system settings icon app, and that'll allow you to go back into GPS settings and turn them on and off again from there as well. So here it's trying to get a connection. You see the GPS icon is red, and you can see now it's turning green and with the red X. The red X means I'm not taking points. It's not going to take any points until it gets a good lock on your location and the data is a solid data point. Right now there's data points flying around and it's just not really knowing where you are. So that's 9%. The number of satellites is the number on the left there. You'll see it showing a 7. And the percentage of error is, you want it to be almost zero, low. Lower is better. It's at 5% error. So that's a good number. So you can see now we've got enough numbers for a certain amount of time. Okay, it's ready to go because you got the black pause circle over your GPS icon. So it's waiting for us to press start. And it's saying session 17, press start for an open water training session. Now there's other information on here. It's all documented, user's guide and whatnot, but total time is here. Total distance is going to be down in the left corner. Your interval pace is here. And your total distance for each interval you're doing is there, and this is the number of intervals you're working on that you've completed. Here's a compass heading, and then this is your swim state. The red will turn green when you're swimming, it's red when you're not, or if you're moving, it's green with a blue circle in it. So you can use our system for biking, running, and kayaking and whatnot, but primary use is swimming. Very good for that. The real-time feedback is exceptional. So this is session 15. So I may have to walk outside to get this to work. So I'm going to walk away. I'm going to put my smart swim on. And I'm going to simulate going to the beach, open water, and then I'll come back and then we'll save this and we'll get the files out and let's talk about that. So here we go. Hopefully it'll keep going. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and begin. So now I put my head down. You can see if I put my head down in the down swim position, our swim state turns green there. And now we're swimming. So we're going to go walk outside for a little bit here and hopefully get some distance from GPS. Okay, we just finished an open water workout. Now I'm going to press stop. I press select on my smart swim. It's asking me to save session 15. I press stop again and it says session 15 saved. Okay, now let's take a look at that. We're finished. We're on the beach. We drive home and maybe the session emailer is running. I pull in the yard. It automatically emails me the session files. Or in this case, I open up the pairing app and you can see here it's saying press session 16 now. So instead, we know 15 is saved. I'm going to go up here, turn off repeat, and I'm going to say download. Open water session. Okay, we're going to download session 15. There they are. I'm going to pick the trophy file. I'm going to say okay. Downloads the trophy file. It allows me to share it now. You can see I swam for 2 minutes total, 45 yards, 15 calories. I averaged 423 per 100. My interval pace is 347 per 100. So I took a fair amount of rest between the two. The average pace includes all the interval time that you were resting. The interval pace excludes the resting period. And so you can see here, open water interval is finished, and this is our trophy file. So now I can share it with anybody on Facebook, or I can just keep it on my private account. So now let's download all of them. I try to press the download button. A little tough with the open water session. I'm going to say download all of them. 1, 15, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's five fundamental files created with the open water session from GPS. There's a trophy file, a session file, there's a GPX file for uploads to Strava, Garmin Connect, training piece kind of thing. And there's a KML, which is Google Earth, which you can plot with a Google Earth editing tool, viewing tool. And you can also use, and then there's a smart map. So the smart maps include all the waypoints when you were resting, stop, start, when you transitioned, that sort of thing. And then there's the full map, which is said, here's all the raw GPS data. Doesn't care about anything, just stores everything in there, including the bad, inefficient, or percent errors, that the data points that are way off scale. So you'll get everything saved there. And you can, again, this is the same thing. We're going to download them all. Same thing as the lab training session. We'll download all of them. Now it's telling us to go here to open and telling our browser to open from there. So I'm going to go over with my files. I'm going to go to internal storage, and I'm going to browse over to SmartSwim folder on my, and then there's the open water training sessions right there. So we're going to hit that. And then here is session, and if we could rotate the phone, you'd know which ones they were, but they're typically at the top, the latest and greatest date and time. So it'd be this guy. 2 minutes for that session. So let's look at the summary file. We'll just open that. Text editor. And then in here, it's the same idea as your lab training tool. It tells you the total time, session numbers, seconds, and countdown, total yards for your split distance. Every segment is in here when you started. We did a 23-yard swim in 56 seconds, and it gives you your interval pace per 100 yards. You can change this to the number. It's based on your split distance. So if it splits 100, it'll tell you time per 100. If it's 50, it'll tell you time per 50. And then you have another segment, another interval we did here, another 22-yard interval with its interval pace and time. And in the end, you get the calorie chart out here, summary. Gives you an idea of where you are in the calorie chart. Tells you at your weight and distance is about 15 calories. And again, you have the interval pace and the average pace. The interval pace is without the rest time in your session. So if you subtracted all the rest you took, that's your interval pace. Your average pace is with the rest time. So if you were in an event and you were resting at the event, say a marathon swim, that time counts against you. So that's your average pace time. So ideally, you'll be able to, in your training, get those as close as possible to each other. Within the total interval time, total rest time, and the total session time, and the total yards. So that's basically your summary file. Okay. And then in here, we also have the Smart GPX course and a KML. This is a Google Earth mapping, GPS mapping, and it includes waypoints. And this is a Garmin mapping that you can share with people, say on Garmin Connect. We're going to try to open that now. Now on my phone, I use a GPX viewer tool. There's other tools out there you can get to view these files. But I use GPX viewer, and you can see here, it kind of give you an idea of that's where I was, sort of. But your whole map file now is mapped out here, and I can take a snapshot of this with this tool. Let's say screenshot and share it. And I can just hit share button, hit the share button. And I can share this either Facebook, Messenger feeds, anything, any place I want to go with it. But we're not going to do that today. That gives you an idea right there. So there's open water training session. I can use the KML files. I can go through Google Earth with those. Or I can just store them, like I said, on your Dropbox account. You can connect your Dropbox account to SmartSwim. And any files you upload through your phone will now be archived in the cloud in your Dropbox account. That's how that works. And so that concludes our quick demonstration of the open water app. It also has a grid mode. You have to read up on that. You can put it into grid mode, and you can upload a GPS course. We have a separate video for that that will show you how to make a GPS course and follow that out on the lake where you're swimming. So there's a lot of options for that tool. It also has a category. You can pick biking, running, walking, that sort of thing. And that concludes our video on our open water training session.